In this lesson, we solve a pair of equations. A square root of x plus y is equal to 7 and x plus a square root of y is equal to 11, where x and y are positive integers, right? So, in order to solve this pair of equations, we will use algebraic manipulation interpretation. You see that a square root of x plus y is 7 and x plus a square root of y is equal to 11, right? And you notice that y and x are positive integers, and the sum of these two is a positive integers, and these equations involve only positive integers. So you know that sum of two positive integers is also a positive integer. Y is a positive integer, so a square root of x must be a positive integer, and it is possible when x is a perfect square number, right? Similarly, x is a positive integer, 11 is a positive integer, and the sum of two positive integer is a positive integer. So a square root of y must be a positive integer, right? So it is possible when y is a perfect square number, that is perfect square integer. So let us do some simple interpretation. So we have interpreted that x and y must be perfect squares, right? So if you interpret this equation, you notice that y is a perfect square integer and it must be less than 7, right? So it can be any perfect square number less than 7. So y must be y must be 1 or 4, right? Because these two numbers are perfect square numbers and perfect square integers which are less than 7. If you interpret this equation, you notice that x must be less than 11. So x can be any number, any perfect square number less than 11, so which can be 1, 4 and 9. Now if you use the same value for x and y, for x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1, for x is equal to 4, y is equal to 4, then you notice that for the same values these equations are not satisfied. For the same values of x and y, these two equations are not satisfied. So we will use different values for x and y. So the different pair can be 1 4, 1 9, right? Can be 4 1 and 9 1, can be 4 9 9 4, right? So let us try to plug in. We will here use trial and error method to check whether these two values satisfy these equations or not. So let us try with 4 and 9. When x is equal to 4, y is equal to 9, then a square root of x is equal to 2 and a square root of y is equal to 12. If you plug in the values of a square root of x and a square root of y in the original equation, you notice that these two values do not satisfy these two equations. If you try for x is equal to 9 and y is equal to 4, a square root of x gives you 3 and the square root of y gives you 2. Right? If you plug in 3 for a square root, 3 for a square root of x and 2 for a square root of y, you notice that these two equations are satisfied. So x is equal to 9 and y is equal to 4 is the solution for this pair of equations, right?